When the ground shifts beneath us, whether it be through a sudden loss or uncertainty, we find out who we are together. What steadies us is not uncertainty, it is community, our community. In the days after December 13th, we saw what community looks like when stability is shaken. Local restaurants opened their doors for shelter. People walked each other home. Vigils were held. Strangers listened. Neighbors grieved together. That response was not automatic. It was built. And that is what I have learned here. When the ground moves, belonging is not something we inherit. It's something we build. None of us made it through Brown alone, no matter how put together you look right now in our casting grounds. The first time I set foot on College Hill, I felt like an imposter. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and immediately feel like you missed a memo? That was me, standing on this main green with my matching light purple iPad, water bottle, mechanical pencils, zero notebooks, pretending I knew where Freedman Hall was. And thank you, Freedmans. Back then, I thought everyone around me was so confident. I asked myself again and again, do I belong here? Growing up in Haiti, belonging was never something I had to search for. It lived everywhere. In the smell of fresh flitai drifting from a neighbor's house, in the sound of compa blasting from a passing car, in the way neighbors would hand you a plate of food before even asking your name. Haiti taught me joy, community, and resilience long before I had the vocabulary for any of it. But after the earthquake in 2010, everything changed. I was 7 years old. My immediate family and I panic packed our lives and moved to America, carrying loss, confusion, and fear. Where do you stand when even the earth beneath you feels uncertain? My family eventually settled in Hyde Park in Boston. Hyde Park taught me that a community can exist fiercely and beautifully and still feel fragile. I watched my favorite spaces, restaurants, and longtime neighbors slowly disappear as rents rose and gentrification reshaped the places that made us us. That experience taught me something important. Belonging isn't something you inherit. It's something you protect. You fight for it. You build it, brick by brick, even when the world wants to remodel your neighborhood into something unrecognizable. So by the time I arrived at Brown, I thought I understood courage. I thought I understood belonging. I thought I knew everything. Ask my family. I always had an answer. Turns out I didn't. At Brown, the ground doesn't always shake loudly. Sometimes it shifts quietly, like raising your hand in a seminar when your heart is pounding hard enough to qualify as a baseline. Walking into a student organization's meeting, knowing absolutely no one. Admitting you went to the wrong Watson again. And belonging, it didn't shift loudly either. It entered through small, almost unnoticeable doors. It showed up when someone held the elevator door for me in Sila and said they recognized me from my photography business. It showed up in late night conversations in Harambe House with upper class students about life. It showed up when a friend insists that I borrow their scarf because Caelle, it is literally 19 degrees outside. Belonging isn't found in objects or things. It's built through small acts of kindness layered over time. We came to Brown after COVID lockdowns, some of the loneliest and most uncertain years. We then stepped into a world that expected us to have everything figured out the moment normal returned. We carried identities, uncertainty, histories. Somehow, in the middle of all of that, we built community. We built belonging in dorm lounges where we shared food, secrets, and our academic stress. We built belonging when we jumped and hugged each other after finally beating Harvard in football. And building that kind of belonging, it required something deeper. It required courage. I saw courage in the student who switched concentrations junior year to align with who they truly were. I saw courage in the classmate who finally asked for help and realized it wasn't a weakness. I saw courage in immigrants, low-income students, students of color, and all those who kept showing up in unfamiliar spaces foreign to them. I saw courage in the way we fought for each other, advocated for each other, and celebrated each other, even when program housing and safe spaces felt threatened. Brown taught me that bravery isn't about looking brave. It's a practice, the everyday decision to show up as yourself, even when no one is watching. And that feeling of not belonging, Brown taught me how to answer it for myself. Through the friends we cherish, the mentors who guided us, and the communities that held us, I learned this. Belonging isn't a room we walk into. Belonging is a room we help build. And courage is what helps us pick up the tools. I know this because we did not build any of these rooms alone. I thank God for giving me strength and perseverance these past 4 years. I thank our families and close friends, the foundation that made our journeys possible. Thank you, Mom and Dad. To the staff, faculty, mentors, and community members who believed in us and helped us navigate the space when we were still figuring out where we fit, I thank you. We all thank you. As we stand on the edge of whatever comes next, I think back to the first night freshman year on campus, the girl lying awake wondering if she belonged. The girl who felt deeply unsure of her academic abilities at a predominantly white institution. If I could go back and speak to her, I'd say this. The ground doesn't have to stop shaking for us to stand tall. Courage steadies us. Community holds us. When we commit to building both together, we don't just belong. We make room for others to belong to. Congratulations, Class of 2026.